Hi guys, my name is Nicolette Mashile. I'm also known as the Financial Bunny. Welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. Today we're talking all things why it's important to start with a why. And this is obviously from a book that I'm again currently reading called Start With Your Why by Simon Sinek. He's probably one of my favorite people to consult when it comes to corporate culture, corporate change, corporate communications. And this actually led me to this understanding of maybe we need to be behaving like corporates to a certain extent for us to also become financially viable and financially successful, right? Now, do remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please speak to somebody who is certified and registered with the FSCA. So, as I said, I read and I watch a lot of Simon Sinek. And the first time I read Start With Your Why, it was during when it was a buzz and everybody was talking about start with your why and what. And I was like, okay, well, this is quite interesting. Let me read it. But I think I was reading it at face value, you know. It's different when you are reading for the sake of reading versus when you are reading with an intention to change an aspect of your life. And I got to a part where I've decided that I am now consciously and intentionally trying to change how my finances look like. And that's why even in the last video, 2 videos before this, I spoke a little bit about the reason why I'm reading a book like Atomic Habits by James Clear. And that is basically to try and get my mindset in the right space so that there can be a transformative change that happens in my life, because I'm getting to that age where I should have now retired. I should be able to get time back into my life. I always read these quotes where people talk about the most important asset that you can ever have is time. And then I look at my life and I'm working 25 hours in a day. Yes, I'm somehow finding an extra hour in a day. And I'm asking myself, is it even worth it? So then I realized maybe I'm not being fully, what's the word that I'm looking for? Maybe I'm not being the best, or maybe I'm not putting my money in spaces, or maybe I'm not thinking about my money the best way, the optimal is the word that I'm looking for, in the most optimal manner that I should be looking at. So I started reading again, Start With Why. And in the beginning of the story, of course, Simon Sinek speaks about the story of Langley and the Wright brothers, right? Now, Langley is this amazing scientist who wants to fly the first airplane or the first commercial flight or something like that. And he is probably the most well-positioned to be able to get to this very ambitious goal back in those years ago, right? Because he has the funding, the government funding. He's a very decorated man and everybody believes in him. And everybody, once they heard this ambitious goal that he's got, all jumped in to support him. And a couple of towns down the road, they are these Wright brothers who probably on surface level should have never ever been even thinking about such an ambitious goal. I think they were mechanics, if I can remember correctly. And basically, these guys, they're the guys that you look at and you write off and you're like, oh, you know when you want a husband or a boyfriend and then you meet guy, this is one guy that you like, yes, this is my crush. And then there's the one guy that you just like, oh my goodness. But what you don't realize is the motivation and the inspiration between those two guys or behind those two guys. So for Langley, it was probably to become even more decorated in his field. For the Wright brothers, it was to become people, to take on the skies, to create an aircraft that could fly in the sky. They by a long shot, they should not have gotten it right. But they did. They got it right. I think it was the 17th of December when the first flight, which is my dad's birthday, by the way, first flight was in the air. Now, obviously, we don't know what Langley's motivation was. But taking it back again to the example of the 2 guys that I spoke about, the one guy may want to date you for status reasons because it will elevate him. It will take him to the next step. Whereas the other guy genuinely wants to be a great husband to you. No one else. This one may want a wife who can elevate him. This one wants a wife, but they want you. You are the wife that they've identified. And this is the importance of starting with the why. When you start off with the why, it then speaks to the what. So Langley could have been celebrated in any other goal that he had. And he could shrug his shoulders and say, well, I didn't get the first aircraft out. I can do something else and I can get celebrated. These guys only had this one goal. And their why was so powerful that it had to happen. But ask yourself, how often do we do that when we make financial decisions? How often do we actually start with the why? Why do I want 10 properties by a certain age? Why do I want to invest? Why should I save? Why should I create passive income streams? Why should I take on more work to create additional income streams? Not the what should I be doing to be able to get these things, but start with the why. So Simon Sinek calls this the golden circle, and he says, in the golden circle, so imagine this big circle, one inside and a center one. In the center, you need to start with your why. The next circle is your how, and the last circle is your what. So why am I doing this? How do I plan to do it? And what do I need for the how to be true? So let's say, for instance, I've decided I want financial freedom. That's my why. I want financial freedom, let's say at the age of 40. That's my why. And because I have no other options. I am not giving myself other options. My why is I want to be financially free. The how, by being a property mogul, by turning myself into a property investor. The what speaks to the how, buying properties, investing in properties. That's my what. My what is the property. My how is property investor. My why is financial freedom. So it's important that sometimes you sit down and you create this golden circle for yourself so that you get a better understanding and a better grip in terms of how do you do these things? Why do you do these things? And what do you need to do to be able to get back to your why? Many companies do this. I mean, let's be fair. Companies, for them to be able to convince you to do anything, they use two methods. The one, manipulation. The other, inspiration. Now, when they manipulate you, it's when they put your hows together. So we can all become property investors. But how will you become a property investor? What do you need to do to be able to become a property investor? What are you motivated by? Because you can become a property investor that is reckless and you might never get the actual financial freedom that you're hoping to get. So you could be inspired by your why to be able to know how to do it and what you need to get. So these are some of the things that you've got to think about, because a lot of businesses think in that manner when they make decisions about the type of business culture that they want to have, the type of vision they've got for the business, and how they're going to sell you their products or services based on their why. In actual fact, it's quite a funny thing. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it's so funny how on social media, because of cancel culture, we've got this thing of we want to shame people when they decide that they're no longer wanting to support someone. So let's say, for instance, somebody on social media that I've been following and I've spoken about before gets dragged. They get dragged, God forbid, touch wood, they get dragged through the mud. And then I comment on that specific isolated incident. And then somebody will pull like tweets or like they'll pull space, like content where I've spoken about this person before and I've celebrated them. And then they'll write things like, is this you? Is this you, ma'am? Please stop being flip-floppy about situations. And I'm like, no, stupid. No. We follow leaders, we follow influential people, not for them, but for ourselves. As long as my why and that person's why is aligning, I like them. The moment there is a mismatch in terms of our whys, I no longer like them. Somebody was saying to me the other day when I called F&B out. I called F&B business out because F&B business was not allowing me to do what I thought they should allow me based on the why I went to F&B in the first place. F&B made it very easy. They said simplistic banking. They said they are the top number one online and electronic, whatever, banking, business banking. I mean, you literally could register your business via F&B to CIPC. You would register, you would get a registration, you would get a bank account, and you would get your tax number. So when I get a glitch now in the system with F&B business, and they're putting me at a space where I'm like, hey, Bo, I'm now questioning why I even came to F&B. Of course I'm calling them out. Somebody was like, you're an influencer, my sister. Delete this thingy. You're going to need them tomorrow. What. No. Will I work with F&B on anything else that aligns with my why? Of course. Can I right now work with F&B business? No, because they don't align to my why. But for you to go and fetch a tweet where I wrote F&B is such a great bank, oh my goodness, that does not change. It does not change. Because at the time when I wrote it, yes, it aligned. Same way you've got a right to change your mind when it comes to financial products and services. People think that if you decide tomorrow to change your mind about, let's say you've been singing a song about being debt-free. Debt-free may be the why for you, for a specific amount of time in your life. So when you are trying to be debt-free, that is the why. The how is, how am I going to become debt-free? Okay, I need to pay off my existing debts. All right, so I need to pay off existing debt. How do I pay for existing debt? What do I need? I need money. I need additional money. So maybe I am taking up jobs so that I can become debt-free. Right? So I can pay off my debt and become debt-free. All right, now we've put that on the side. We became debt-free. Now we graduate and we move on. My next why now is to become financially independent. But I realize that for me to become financially independent, my how is to become a property investor. But my what is to buy property. Now I cannot afford property cash as yet. So I need to finance it. So where am I going back to? Debt. It's important to always have your why. Stop getting stuck. You are not stuck. We're not stuck people. Personal finances is just that. It allows you to create your own why. This also allows you to actually put it into practice. Because let's be fair, a why needs a how. Because you can have all the whys in the world. Oh, I want to be financially free. Oh, I want to be financially independent. Oh, I want to be part of the FIRE community. What are financial independence, retire early. Oh, I want to be debt free. Oh, you can have all of these amazing whys, but without the partnership of a good how, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. And to really drive the conversation home, Simon Sinek speaks about a celery test. And basically what the celery test is, you go to this party, let's say your why is to be the number one, to make healthy food accessible and affordable to people. That's your why. You want a healthy nation. So you want to make healthy food accessible and affordable to people. Sharp. Now you walk into this party, you meet two of the people that were on Shark Tank as the judges, and these are some of the most celebrated entrepreneurs. The one says, and then you say to them, listen, this is what I want, and I need to expand my business. My business is looking to go into an expansion. And the one entrepreneur says to you, okay, maybe it's time for you to start selling M&Ms, some candy. The other one says to you, no. You need to go buy more celery. So the next day you go to the shopping mall and you have a decision to make. It's like going into your office. Now you've got a decision to make. As this leader of the Y community, healthy nation, do you buy the M&Ms? Do you buy more M&Ms and more candy? No, you buy more celery. And it sounds ridiculous. And that's a very obvious example that Simon Sinek uses. But the thing is, we often are confronted with these issues when it comes to financial products and services. Because let's be fair, there are many products and services in the finance world. And it can get really confusing. It can get confusing. And by the way, you have a lot of companies that are going to try and sell their products based on manipulation, based on price, based on promotions, based on, if you become a trader, we will double up on your first deposit, so become a trader. So you become a trader. If you take up this TFSA, we don't charge fees, so you go into a TFSA. If you buy this property, you will only start paying your bond. If you buy it on fine, the bank says if you buy it on a bond or on a home loan, you will only start paying in 6 months. So you do that. There are many options that are available, and some of them will come with manipulation. That is why your why is so important. Your why is so important. Dulu Tuli, who is my literally my sounding board when it comes to finances, he always says to me, and I'm paraphrasing him now, so this is not a direct quote. He says, Nicolette, all financial planners, a majority of the financial planners have the access to similar financial products, if not the same. It's about having the greatest person who is in your team, who is in your ally, who is your financial advisor, planner, wealth specialist, who will find what is most compatible to what your needs are. And when there are changes, they are the first people to tell you, you need to make a jump, you need to make a leap, you must stay the course, or you must change this. Because they remember your why. They're not being swayed by, there's a great pricing point here now for this and this and this fund, so let's go to that fund. Actually, this asset class seems to be, there's a promotion on this asset class, buy one, get one free, so let's go to this one. No, that's not how you do it. So let's take the celery test, for instance, and put it into practice. So here I am as Nicolette. I want financial freedom by age 14. I want to be financially free. I want my time back. Because right now, I don't own my time. And it's sad. I don't own my time. But I want to be financially free. So I want to bring back my time. So that is my why. So what is my how? My how is I want to have 10 properties. I want to be a property investor, because property investing can lead to financial freedom and me taking back my time. The what is buy the properties that you need. Then I go to this party, and like they do at every party, somebody's got some amazing financial advice to you. Somebody wants to introduce you to all of these crazy things. Then somebody says to me, just put 50% of your money, a financial advisor, by the way, put 50% of your money into a retirement annuity, because really, you need to have a good retirement. Then the other one says, why don't you actually take 30% of your money, put it into a cash cow business, so that you only need to finance maybe 80% of your properties. The cash cow business in the next 5 years will make you enough money so that you have 80% or 20% or 30% of the money you're going to need to be able to buy the properties that you want. The next day, I wake up in company Nicolette and I need to make decisions. So what do I decide? Which one is aligned to my why? Which one of the two? The retirement annuity that I will only have access to at age 55, that speaks to retirement, which at this point is not my why. or the cash cow business that is going to make money available for me to not have to finance all of my properties, but I can buy properties at a much better rate. And that's what I want, to become financially free at age 40. So at age 40, I will have those things. I mean, Bob's your uncle. So I'm just thinking about it like that. And I don't know how you guys think. I don't know how you guys make decisions based on, or decisions of how you actually purchase financial products. In actual fact, the reason why I'm going through all of this is because I'm doing my thesis currently and my MBA. And my question is, what are some of the factors that influence purchasing decisions of financial products and services? So I'm quite keen to hear from you in the comment section. What is actually fueling the decision that you make when it comes to purchasing your financial products and services? Please leave me some comments. I'd love to see it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Mwah.